Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to Kickoff Flicks. Andor Episode 4. Let me tell you something. Not only was Andor cook, but he lies about fighting in a war for 2 years and being 50 people to survive and walk out of there just to say, oh, but we were fighting ourselves the whole entire time. No, listen, no. Stop it. You're such a liar. You started off as a cook and who knows what happened after that, but I know you. That's right. It's like Andor kind of folds so easy. But and that also goes to show that he is not a very good liar, especially when someone keeps saying, I know everything about you. The way I see it is, if I find out that someone says, I know how your father died, I'm not about to sit here and lie to you because you probably know everything else. One thing that necessarily didn't make sense to me when he said, oh, you can trust me, I'll give you my word. Well, literally, you're a smuggler. You steal things for a living. Who is going to naturally trust you? This man literally said, I know everything about you. And you're saying, I'm giving you my word. You don't even pay people back. And I'm pretty sure he knows that. But he put a big money sign in front of you and you folded all of your cards. Literally, Andor just kind of gave in. And I was very surprised about that. But you know what? It is what it is. When it comes to this episode, some things make sense, some things don't. But, you know, you need the dialogue anyways for you to make those minutes. Now, he could have totally been testing him the whole entire time. But he keeps failing at that. And I would just stop because it doesn't seem like it's going to work out for him in the long run. And especially when the guy says, you can try to kill me and steal my ship. Literally, the ship is talking. And it's like, even if you kill me, you're not going anywhere because it seems like the ship has more control over everything instead of like, you know, the guy actually flying it. And that's why Andor ended up saying, what did he say? Oh, what's flying this ship? I've never seen it. What's in here? Like I've never seen it before. And he goes, yeah, don't worry about it. It's none of your business. Which again, it's not none of your business. In fact, I want to know more about everybody else other than Andor. Now, I will tell you my favorite part of the whole entire episode right now, and that is nothing other than the new Grandi. I love her. I mean, listen, if you made that whole entire episode about them being in that white room or off-white room or whatever it may be, I would have watched it. I would have thought it was like Law and Order, some kind of court case. Oh, who knows? I love their interaction of like, you know, incompetency versus competency. And it's like, oh, we need facts, but you're not giving me everything I want. And I love it. I love it. I probably would be more interested in watching that and see how the Empire really worked, because it doesn't seem like everything was all lightsabers and blowing up planets. No. You had to keep people in order, and you had to put different people in power, and everyone's kind of power hungry, and I kind of like it. The people here are looking to throw other people over, and it doesn't matter. You know, they want more sectors, they want higher rank, and they're willing to do what they got to do. This nasty war right there. That to me is more compelling than Andor joining Val in this episode to go do a heist, because now all of season however many episodes Andor is going to be about a heist, and it's going to be within 3 days. And I necessarily don't mind the heist, but Val, I don't think of her as 100% good, strong leader. I mean, there are times when it does show that she does, but when it comes to everybody else and all the other men in her group saying, I don't trust him. It's 3 days before. Why is he here now? You should have told me. You should have mentioned him to us. Well, I didn't know he was coming. Well, you know, that it was like, okay, great. You know, if you have a leader, your leader says, you know, you have to trust them. I trust him. Don't keep questioning it. That goes to show that, guess what? Val doesn't have as much control as she looks like she does. But you know what? It is what it is, and that's perfectly fine. The second person that makes me very interested in this show is the senator. Like, the senator's risking a lot, and she has somebody that she just found out that she could use or that would be helpful. I want to know who it is. I really do. Like, I'm very intrigued on who the senator is trying to use right now, that, no one else really knows. And especially the senator's risking so much, especially I think her husband is a traitor. I have to believe that because I did not like that man whatsoever. I'm so glad she sent that gift back and I was so excited. But to be honest, how she's still fighting for the cause, and at the same exact time she's risking her life, everything that she's attained throughout her whole entire life, and knows how to stand up for herself. I just cannot wait to see who her plug is and what they're going to end up doing. I like to get to see the insights of the rebellion, and kind of like how it's forming and how it works in this kind of like intricate way with how everything is kind of connected, and the bottom of the food chain is technically like Val and Andor. It's like no, you don't really hear about them or what they achieved over time, because technically what they're doing is important, but all it is just to find logs of how much money they're spending on a certain thing, whatever they're going to use that for or why it's important, probably to figure out where their money is coming from. So that way they can hit that area. But most guaranteed, it's probably going to be the most guarded place. And they're going to need a lot to go grab that money. Or, sorry, credits. And did you notice the new product that they're going to be selling at Disney, which is, that blue Kyber crystal? I was like, oh, okay. Go ahead, you make your hard sell, because guess what? The kids are going to love it for the most part. My question is, are you going to buy one too? And on another note, with Val not personally for me being the greatest leader, but at the same exact time, I see why she is, because she has all the connections from what it looks like. She knows how to bring everybody together, which then technically does make her a really good leader. But I guess we'll find out later to see how much of a leader she is. And also, it is very much given how they said, Andor is expendable, that he's bought, and at the same time, he's just nothing but a tool. So if anybody else in Val's team falls or doesn't make it, guess what? He gets to take the slot of that person, because, Andor is, a multi-tool. He can do different things and is very good at it, which is quite surprising, especially since he spoke so many different languages. Now, for the simple fact that he spoke so many different languages, I personally would have really loved in the first or second, maybe even third episode, to see him speak a different language or multiple languages to see how he gets around. That would have been way more compelling to his character personally for me, and gave me the idea that he knows what he's doing. He's been around. He knows how to make connections and use people around him. Not so much of the opposite, which is what we got so far, which is Andor, owes people money, especially like his closest friend. We found out he owes him money he needs his friend to find other connections to sell stuff to. So it almost kind of seems like he's good in really other areas that we haven't technically seen yet, but we've seen a lot of his faults, if that makes sense. Like, we know he's kind-hearted, we know he's good, he's still protecting his mom, but at the same exact time, he has credits saved for her somewhere, which, again, I'm trying to figure out, why are you have all this money saved somewhere else? Like, you've been planning on disappearing somewhere, or maybe you're waiting for a rainy day. But yeah, I can't wait to see where it ends up going for this episode. Again, there's not that much that happened. I think this is a huge setup for episode 5. I cannot wait for episode 5, but I want to see more of Grandi. I can't wait to see how she acts and takes control of certain things, how she moves things more toward her way. It doesn't seem like she's being forceful, because as you saw in that episode, she got a lot of praise for the work that she's done, and especially the guy who's in charge of her pretty much said, listen, if you stick to do what you do and don't try to reach so far, you're going to go further than who you're trying to go after right now, which again would make sense. And I was like, okay, that's great. There's a little positivity in the Empire, though the Empire is literally a tyrant. But it seems like you get like these motivated officers that are going somewhere. Now, if you thought I forgot about Officer Karn, no, I didn't. He went to his mom's. Listen, let me tell you something. That is a first. Think about any time you have watched anything in Star Wars and you see somebody go back to their mother. Take that back. There was Darth Vader. Other than Darth Vader, who goes back to their mom? Kind of nobody. Now, also think about this. I don't think they're done with his story. I think he's going to end up going back to work for Grandi, because for the simple fact is that he knows so much and now he's going to have a grudge. Either that or he's going to end up working with Andor, but I highly don't see that happening, only for the simple fact is that he seems like too much of a goody two shoes. He's going to do what he feels is right. He's going to defend justice, and that seems like the type of person and the character that he's built so far. So I definitely see him coming back with a vengeance. Just right now, he's taking a break with his mom because he got fired at his job for disobeying orders, and then, risking the life of other Empire, officers as well, as long as blowing up equipment and, killing other people on the planet. So yeah, he did a lot, and surprisingly, all he got was fired, which is like a slap on the wrist. You would think he would serve some prison time, but no, not the Empire. They just don't got time for that. It's just go home, thank you for working with us, and we'll see you later. But almost guaranteed he's going to come back. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I guess that's really just about it. There's not really much else that happened, other than that big meeting which I could watch a whole entire season of how they do that. In fact, if they made that into a comedy, I would just die. I think that would be hilarious if they would just like keep stabbing each other in the back or trying to, ruffle everybody's feathers and just make it funny. I think that would be a killer show and everybody would kind of love it, especially in the Star Wars universe. I could be 100% wrong, but that's kind of where I sit on that. But either way, let me know if you like what I'm doing so far. And if you do and you hung in there with me for this long, subscribe, hit that like button. And most importantly, don't forget to kick up and not down. And I'll see you the next time I post. Peace.